And we're talking about the assertions that certain critics make, atheists would make, where they would say, you know, because we have so much sin, this proves God doesn't exist. If God did exist, he could have done a much better job than the world that we're in. And then they start to list all these possible worlds that they think would be better than the one we're in. When you examine those, you find out, no, they really wouldn't want to live in that world. And one of the things that they suggest, Dr. Geisler, is that, say, what about a free world that would not sin? Why is that wrong?
Well, it's logically possible, but actually unachievable as long as some free creature chooses to sin. For example, it's logically possible I could be robbing a bank right now, but it's not actually possible because I've chosen not to rob a bank now. So what's logically possible isn't always actually possible. It's logically possible that everyone would believe and be saved, but actually they don't. Some believe, some reject. If I threw 3 dice and I got 3 sixes, you would think I was lucky. If I threw it twice and got 3 sixes, you'd think I was very lucky. If I did 100 times in a row, you'd think the dice were loaded, right? Well, what if God created free creatures? They could all either sin or not sin, follow him or not follow him, and all of them followed him. You'd say, well, the dice were loaded. The dice aren't loaded with freedom. You can really go either way. And the truth of the matter is the Bible tells us that 1/3 of the angels chose to rebel. Now, the atheist says, well, why didn't he just create the 2/3 that didn't rebel? And the answer is because 1/3 of those would have rebelled too, because they're free creatures and they choose to do what they want to do.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps coming back to this word free. I'm not sure we believe that God gave us that much freedom. And if he actually did, it's kind of scary, but he did.
It's very scary, and it has tremendous consequences because free choices are choices that result in certain things. If you freely choose to jump off a cliff, there's a consequence. You're going to hit the bottom. It may take longer depending on how high the cliff is, but you're going to hit the bottom. And there are certain actions, moral actions, that have moral consequences. Namely, if you choose that you don't want to obey God, if you choose that you don't want God in your life, one day he's going to say to you, okay, have it your way. You don't want me in your life? Then have it your way. That's called hell, separation from God.